Hey guys, and welcome back to Forest Game Zoo 3, where today we are working on the English Village Manor, which is the final build for the English Village that I've been working on for the past 6 or so months. This is part 1 of 2, because I thought it would be a good idea to break up into 2 parts, considering that if I'd just made it into 1, it would have been 40, maybe even more minutes long, so I didn't really want to have to record a voiceover that long, and I also thought that it'd just make more sense to divide it up into 2 parts. So in this first part we are working on the exterior, as in the shell, and then also building the top floor, so all the bedrooms, and then in part 2 we will be building the living, dining and kitchen spaces, as well as the small shack in the garden, and just generally the garden itself. And that video will be coming out on Monday, so if you like this video and would like to check out the part 2 to it, then make sure to put in a little reminder that part 2 comes out on Monday, and you can go and check it out then. When I was working on this build, I knew that I wanted it to be rather big, because this lot was rather big, and I wanted it to look like something you could find in an English village, or just in the English countryside or something like that, because that's sort of what the entire street was inspired by. I've called it an English village because that's the sort of vibes I was going for. It has a little shop, and then there's plenty of there's a park, and there's plenty of homes and stuff. And I do have a playlist for all the other builds apart from the park, because I did download that. I can't remember who bought though, so I will try my best to find that if I can't, and link it in the description if I remember. But yeah, so I do have a playlist for all the other builds that I did for this road, and you can feel free to check those out if you'd like to see what else I built. But yeah, so I was inspired by English countryside sort of vibes for the house, and then for the interior, the main interior, so not individual rooms, but generally, I wanted it to sort of look like a manor, rich, maybe royalish, maybe Victorian, Edwardian, light academia sort of vibes. And I made all of the spaces in that sort of aesthetic, apart from 2 of the bedrooms, because I thought that that's the sort of aesthetic that the parents would have wanted and put in everywhere, and then it would make sense to just have all the bathrooms basically the same, because I also didn't really want to have to come up with whole new concepts for each bathroom and stuff. But so right now we are working on Riley's bedroom. Riley O'Hara is the eldest daughter of the family that lives here. She is a goofball, geek and reserved, and she is also a 3rd year business student. So I thought that she was initially wanted to go to law school, and then at law school she met a few friends, but also realized that that's not really what she wanted to do. So she ended up changing her degree to be business, and currently she's 3rd year. I think I don't have Discovery University, so I'm using a mod that basically makes a university a sort of career. So she's on the 3rd level of that, which I think is sophomore in marketing, but I may be wrong because I'm not American, so I don't actually know what 3rd year is called in America, but I'm pretty sure that's what she is. And I've also made her 2 sort of the 2 friends of hers, and I wanted all of them to be initially on law, but law was not one of the careers that one of the university pathways that I was able to get for the university quote unquote career mode I'm using. So they're all actually doing business, but I just I'm gonna pretend that it's law. So in terms of this room, I wanted it to be very clean, sort of minimalistic, black and white, because I thought that that's the sort of vibe that she had going for her. I think she's a very clean cut, logical, analytical person, probably an ESTJ to her mum's ENTJ, and then to the dad's probably an INFP, and then June is a ISFP probably, and then Sawyer, the little kiddo, is a child, so I don't know what they're going to be. Her room is a bit smaller, I'm pretty sure, than June's, but she does have a full-on closet space as well as an ensuite, and I thought that she would have those 2 things because June gets to have a lofted sleeping area, so I thought that would be fair. I also thought that it would make more sense for Riley to, I don't think that that's the sort of thing something that would make her excited. But I feel like for June, having a lofted bed space area would be something that they'd find pretty like cool and like exciting and stuff. In terms of this like closet space, I did want it to be sort of separated between like, well, not separate, but I wanted to have both like clothing and like books and storage spaces and all of that. And I thought that I don't know, I think that this was a pretty good idea on my part. I really like how it ended up looking, and I think that it's like it fits in the space pretty well. Also, so Riley, in terms of her sort of career, I do want her to end up being like following sort of in her mum's footsteps, but instead of her mum, who is like an entrepreneurial, like in computer science sort of person, I wanted Riley to work in business and be very successful in that. She's not really someone who ends up being in any sort of like relationships. Well, she ends up being in a relationship, but not like any like ones that would like last for a long time. And that's also not something that she'd be interested in, because I do feel like she'd be very much dedicated to her work. I think that that's what she finds joy and pride in, and that's what she wants to do with her life, like dedicate herself to working, because that's what makes her happy. And I think that she will honestly end up being a sort of like wine aunt, just sort of like I think that she'll end up loving like June's kids and being like there for them whenever they need to like leave home and like be with someone else for a change, because they're tired of their parents or whatever. But just herself, I don't think she's ever going to have any kids, and I don't think that's something that she's even like remotely interested in. So moving on to June's room, my inspiration for it was grunge. I thought that would like work pretty well for her. The sort of like clothing style I gave her was also sort of at least somewhat inspired by grunge. There's also like she had like half her outfits I think aren't quite grungy. They're different, but that is the sort of aesthetic I want her to have, especially like as a teenager. I thought that's like the sort of like her sort of phase as a teenager was being very much into grunge. I think she also takes that after her dad, because her dad was in a band, and I think that's his sort of aesthetic. And then when he meets their mum, I think it sort of like changes a bit, because he just wants to go with whatever she finds like pretty and nice and stuff. But I think that he ultimately, like, his aesthetic was grunge and like still is, and I think that June takes that after him, because also the mum, so Lara is not June's biological mum, and Minx isn't Riley's biological dad. I thought that both Lara and Minx would have had kids before they met, and they would have been like single parents, and then they met and like bonded over that, and then their kids ended up being like best friends, and so like things just really worked out for them. They also like completely fell in love with each other. So, and then they just like got together, and then like basically bonded. I'm not sure the word, but basically like joined their two families together, and they then had Sawyer like quite like I don't know, like 10 or so years after like meeting. They had Sawyer, and they're gonna have like one more kid together as well. So I don't really think that Riley nor June are that bonded with Sawyer, because they're like age-wise, like Riley's like 21 or to 23, and then June's like 18 or so. So they're like close with each other, but in terms of them being with Sawyer, like Sawyer's like what, 4? So there's like 14 years difference between Sawyer and June, so like even more between Sawyer and Riley. So I just don't think that they have that much in common. Like they obviously care about them, but like Riley's not that into kids in the first place, and June has like a bunch of issues that she's dealing with, and has been dealing with, and like she's also very independent and dedicated to her music and stuff. So there wasn't really any way for them to bond. But getting back to June's room, so upstairs she has like a sleeping area which has also like a few clothing racks for like clothes, I guess, that she uses more often, and then like a really nice bed and a bunch of stuff on her walls and stuff. And then downstairs, like in this section, there's like a day bed and also like a desk and a dresser. So just for like I feel like this is where she spends most of her time, because she also has like her violin and the guitar and her painting. So I think that this is where she spends most of her time in. And then upstairs is just where she likes to relax, and like, 'cause she has another guitar up there. She's a musician, so I thought that would make sense. And then there's a few baggage, that's not like baggage, not really sure what the right word for that is, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And I don't know, I thought that would fit in there, especially because like she is going to be moving to uni soon, so I thought that maybe they brought that in from like storage, so that she could start packing up her stuff to go to uni, because like I thought that she probably wouldn't be living at home during uni. I think that Riley might be for her third year, because definitely like first and second year she wasn't living at home, but then for third year I think that maybe she decided to move in because it just made more sense for her, and then maybe fourth year she'll end up moving away and then never like coming back, because also there's only 3 actual bedrooms in this place, but there's what, like 4 kids, 2 parents, is 6 people. So definitely both Riley and June's rooms are gonna have to move to their younger siblings at some point. Luckily, I think that Riley really won't mind. Riley can't wait, I think, to like move to the big city and to like actually start her career in business and all that, so I don't think that she really minds. And in terms of June, I mean, there's like the youngest baby hasn't been born yet, and it'll be at least like 6 years, probably 6-7 years before they have like the parents decide to move that kid up to a large bedroom. So June has plenty of time in her room, and she's also gonna have a husband soon enough, so it's like I think that's fine. Moving on to the parents' bedroom, so I don't think Minx had like anything to do with decorating this room. It was definitely Lara, and I think that initially the small bedroom that's being used as like a toddler's room was Lara's like at home study, but then they had their current youngest kid and they were like, well, they need a space, so Lara decided to get like a office space outside of the home instead, and then they made that into like a toddler space. And I haven't included that nor any of the bathrooms in like the video because I just thought that would take too much time. It wasn't really that interesting, and you'll get to see some of the photos at the end of the video anyway. I just didn't really see a point in doing that. So yeah, this space is really like very much furnished and like aesthetically similar to all the other rooms apart from the 2 eldest kids' bedrooms. I mean, I thought that would make sense because the parents were the ones who like furnished the whole house, but left their 2 kids' rooms up to them. So yeah, there's a fireplace in here because I think I forgot to add a chimney. No, I definitely forgot. I think I'm gonna have to go back in game and add a chimney because I definitely forgot that. And there's two fireplaces in this home. There's one here in this bedroom, and then there's another one in the living room. But yeah, so I thought that the toddler's room used to be Lara's office, but then they had a kid, and then Lara decided to have one outside like of the home. They're like entering into this room. There's a changing table on one side and then like a dresser on the other. The parents also have a walk-in closet space as well as their own ensuite bathroom. The closet space is just like 2 wardrobes like stuck in like a 2x3 room, and then they have also this dresser in the hallway, I guess, of their room, like a nice mirror above it that I use tool mods to like rotate, which I didn't know previously that you could do that. But yeah, so with tool mod you can actually like grab a mirror and like rotate it. So instead of it being, for example, portrait, you can rotate it to be landscape, and I thought that was really cool. I didn't know I could do that. But yeah, that was sweet. I love that I found out you could do that. They also have like a really nice balcony where I put like 2 seats, Minx's guitar, and like a small coffee table. And I thought that would be like a nice little space for where Minx can like play his guitar to Lara in like the evenings as like a nice way for them to relax. In terms of the upstairs sort of landing, I guess that's what it's called, there's a bunch of portraits everywhere, including of like a few well, yeah, portraits of people, right? Yeah. There's a bunch of portraits there, and I thought that those would be of different family members, maybe of Minx's parents, or maybe of Lara's. Maybe it's like Lara's parents' portraits, or like Lara's relatives, because maybe this home used to be like, is like from a long line of Lara's heritage, like it goes back. Not sure if what I'm saying is getting across, but like basically maybe it's like maybe the house has been like in Lara's family for like a long time, and those are some of like the quote-unquote most important people in her family line. But yeah, there's also like this cute little library space with two bookshelves on either side, and then like two armchairs and some music, like a music player and everything and stuff like that. So it's just like a nice place for them to like relax, read some books and stuff like that. And then downstairs, I think I did include the dining hall, I guess, in this video. So I'm just adjusting the plates, which I do end up actually not including the plates in the final version of this home, because I ended up deciding that it didn't really make much sense to actually include that, because if they were eating at the table, those would get in the way anyway. So it just, yeah, I got rid of them. But I thought that this hall would be like both a dining hall, but also like if they had guests over and they wanted to throw a party, they would like move the table away or to the side or something, and it could like open up and be just like a hole where you could dance and like have fun and like all of that. So yeah, it's there's a huge staircase also coming down from upstairs to here, because I honestly didn't quite know how to like lay out this home. I tried like 5 times to figure out what I wanted this house to look like, until I ended up with it being having the layout that it has now. But I don't know, I'm still not 100% sure whether I like the way the stairs look or not, but I don't know, I just ended up going with it this way anyway, and it's just gonna have to do. I have never have I never made an actual dining room? I don't know. Is this my first time making an actual dining room? I don't think so, right? I mean, it can't be. Well, anyway, it's definitely the first time making like a dining hall. So, aka like a space where you can both eat and also entertain. But yeah, so I also put up like 2 paintings in here, as well as a bunch of mirrors on the opposite side to those. And I think that most of the paintings that are like showcased in this home, apart from the portraits in the upstairs landing, were made by June, and I think that both her parents are really proud of them and just wanted to showcase them. The 2 paintings in the sort of like breakfast nook are definitely by her, and the more quote-unquote modern paintings modern illustrations in the living room are also by her. Not 100% sure about these like plants in the dining hall, but maybe as well. Going into the dining hall, there's like 2 paths sort of that lead from the like entrance to here, and I put like 2 tables with mirrors above that and some clutter on those tables, because I thought that would work pretty well. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this build. So yeah, I don't think I'll be putting up the whole build on my Patreon, because that is a fuck ton of clutter. Not clutter. That is a fuck ton of custom content that I used in this, so I don't think it would really make that much sense to upload it, because like I don't think anyone's going to be bothered to download all of that. So instead, I think I will probably just upload the the shell and the landscaping, so you guys can if you want to, you can download that and furnish it yourselves. But yeah, I think that's it. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I will probably be uploading the build in time for the next video. I don't think it'll be up for this one. So yeah, and yeah, make sure to check out part 2 once it comes out on Monday, and I will see you then. Okay, bye!